All right, so this is my review of Variable Action Heroes Ace, Firefist Ace. And this isn't exactly a new figure, but it was reissued, and it was reissued recently, and you can still find him on sites like Big Bad Toy Store. I know I got him on Crunchyroll. Um, so that's the thing with Variable Action Heroes. They just randomly release, and if you're into this line, which is it's an old line, but the figures are excellent in my opinion. Just keep your eyes open because he's still around. He's still floating around, and you don't want to let these escape into the kind of eBay market because prices just shoot through the roof, and he's expensive enough as it is, which we'll talk about in a bit. I will just say right away, not to like tease anyone, I got him for like $70 on Crunchyroll. That's an excellent price. Usually he's going for around $100, 100 and up. So if you're into him, that's the price you're going to pay for a line this old. But these figures are just absolute like gems in my opinion. But okay, let's talk more about that. So let's start with the aesthetics. And variable action heroes just tend to look amazing. And Ace is no exception. I think honestly he's actually one of their better ones. I'm not like an expert on them, but I think he's one of the newer releases from when they were pumping these out. Okay, so he looks great. Not a whole lot to say. Very clean lines. Looks like he stepped right out of the anime. Excellent details on the muscles, the tattoos he had. And don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything in this review. It's only about the figure. Great tattoos all over the place. Very clean decals. Excellent detail on the clothing, like the way the belt's hanging there. This dagger is a detachable piece. You might want to warm it up before you slot it in. But excellent colors. Just everything really just sticks out. And these are fun to own because Variable Action Heroes really knows how to get the paint on these figures and make them kind of vibrant. Little silvers everywhere, very well, exceptionally painted, shading all over his muscles, very organic looking figure. Okay, so what else is there to say? He looks excellent. 5 out of 5, easily. Okay, and let's just see how tall he is. And variable action heroes are not 1/12 scale figures, and it almost fits the spirit of One Piece because characters in One Piece are just gigantic. And I think Oda did that on purpose just to kind of give his characters a little bit kind of like uniqueness and that kind of like outlandish kind of uniqueness. So I think Variable Action Heroes kind of respects that. So he's around 7.5 inches. Yeah, like 7.5 inches tall. Yeah, Variable Action Heroes have size on them. And for those interested, let's see how heavy he is. So he's heavy, like 3.9 ounces, quarter pound. So he's definitely got that kind of like premium feel to him. And as he should, because Variable Action Heroes are supposed to be a step above like Figuarts and the like. And be careful if you go down this line because it's going to be expensive and you're going to want to collect them all. I know because it happened to me. So let's see. Let's talk about his articulation. And just to keep this a little bit more simple, I'm just going to take his hat off because it gets in the way, which we'll talk about in the accessories. Okay, so his head's on a kind of ball peg. You get the movement that you'd expect out of that. Could be better, tiny ball peg, but you do get a neck ball joint too, so you could move around decently. You look down excellently. You could look up pretty well. Let's talk about his arms. Goes up that high. Could have been better, but I'm cutting him some slack because this is such an old figure. Let's see. Get a bicep swivel, very smooth. Double jointed elbows, look very nice, blended in excellently. And ball swivel on the wrists, usual. And you do get a almost non-functional butterfly joint. Again, old figures, pretty much non-functional butterfly joint. It just kind of wiggles a cinch. Okay. Now, that being said, he has probably one of the best diaphragm cuts I've ever seen. And let me just show you what I mean. So that's really good. That's excellent. And you do get a little bit of gappage when you go back like that. just something to be mindful of. But he has a very nice kind of organic ab crunch that functions very well. He does have a secondary ball peg, so he could really get into some crazy poses there. So that's really good. That's insane. I haven't seen most new figures be able to pull this off, so that's excellent. Okay, legs. I think these are just on, what are these? Just some kind of like, it's effectively like a ball peg, but you do get a swivel on that, and it does rotate on that joint too. So very nice joint there. A tiny bit loose in this leg, but nothing to cry over. Okay, and yeah, like I said, look, you get a full split out of him. If you take this dagger off, yeah, you could get a full split out of him. So aged exceptionally well, the articulation on this figure. Now, what's amazing, and you won't see this on even new figures in most cases, is he has a secondary kind of joint on his upper thigh. So that's really cool. Like, you could actually get like a movement out of that too. Double jointed knees, they work pretty damn well. Ankles are amazing. Very nice, useful ankle rocker. Get up and down on the swivel too. So yeah, he's really good. His legs go back nicely too. So you get a lot out of him. Okay, so articulation gets 4.5. So, you know, butterfly joint could be better. A little bit of looseness in the left leg, nothing crazy. So very, very nicely articulated figure. Very nice looking figure too, so you'll really enjoy this. And I think they really are a cut above figure arts, even the new ones coming out. Actually, especially the new ones coming out. If you've seen some of the reviews on like Zorro, for an example, he's effectively a plastic brick. Okay, but let's talk more about Ace here. And let's talk about his accessories real quick. So he comes with a hat. Now be aware, I did kind of like heat this kind of rope here to make it stick down like this, otherwise it just comes like sticking out like this in the box. You could just loop that around his neck if you wanted to wear it. Let's just talk about what else he comes with, and I'll just kind of dump them all out here. We'll talk through them. Now, what is nice and what figure arts should really learn from Mega House is, you know, give some nice accessories like this. So this is just like a flame accessory. You can just loop that around his fist if you wanted to. So that looks really nice. The screenshot I put in the thumbnail or wherever it was in this video, he doesn't come with those fire effects, just so you know, but he does come with the ones I'm showing you now. So he comes with 2 of those little flame fist accessories. That's really cool. You do get a little tiny fire that you could just put on one of his fingers here. I'll just show you how to do that. That's really cool. So you do get that option. And you get 2 of those. So very nice with the flame effects. That's a nice added bonus. So you do get 2 of those pointing hands. Okay. Talk about his hands first, then we'll go to his alternate faces. You do get 2 fists. Firefist. You do get a very nice pointing finger. 2 of them. And you get the relaxed hands that he has on him right now. So that's enough for me, and no complaints there. Now, he can wear that hat also. I'll just kind of quickly go over how you do that. If you want him to wear the hat, you just take his head off, and you just put this alternate head on, and then you just do the same thing, put his face plates on this alternate set, with this kind of peg sticking out for his hat. So, pretty self-explanatory, just for people who get this figure and want to know. Okay, and yeah, you can see that attachment inside his hat. I heated him with hot water, that's why it's a little bit wet, but just pegs in there, no issues. Didn't run into any issues when I was swapping him out. And the only alternate faces he comes with, unfortunately, is just these 2 here. And that's really a bummer, because he's such an expressive character. And, you know, yeah, they're great, but just I wish we maybe got like 1 or 2 more. Unlike Sanji and stuff, you get a ton of faces, so not a huge deal. But okay, he only comes with 3 faces. That's a little bit of a letdown. Okay, So in terms of accessories, he gets 4.5 just because they skimped out on the faces. Everything else is great, so no real complaints. Okay, and let's talk about overall value. I'd give him a 4 out of 5, just because he's so expensive now. You know, when they released, these were just dirt cheap, like $50 or something. I wasn't into this line back then. I was going through my whole cool guy phase. I'm too old for action figures. Funny how when you get older, that goes out the window. But yeah, so I missed out big time when these were actually releasing. That being said, they're pretty expensive now. So variable action heroes generally are 100 plus. Be mindful of that. That being said, you have to really like One Piece, and I really like One Piece, so I'm definitely going all in on this line. So I got a bunch of them already. The only ones I have left are the big ticket ones, like, you know, Whitebeard, Shanks, getting just kind of like that. Those are just pushing into ridiculous territory. I hope they get a reissue, but I digress. So given his price, I'd say 4 out of 5. He is expensive. I was lucky enough to find him on Crunchyroll for $70, but he's out of stock there now. As of filming this, I think he's still in stock on Big Bad Toy Store. He's not hard to find. He's just kind of expensive. And be very careful if you go on eBay. I will mention this now just to keep people from buying fake crap out there. If you don't want to get scammed on eBay, when you buy a variable action hero, 2 things you want to look out for. 1, make sure it has the Mega House logo on it. If it does not have this, run the hell away because it's fake. Well, 3 things actually. 2, make sure it has the One Piece logo on it, because if it doesn't, that means it's just a bootleg trying not to get sued. And 3rd, and very important, make sure it has this sticker on it. You will see some sellers who are honest, the sticker just fell off. But for me, I'll only buy it if it has this sticker on it. But if you see a figure that has 1 and 2 on it, it's probably safe. Okay, but you know, get a good look at it. Here's an authentic box. Has to look like this. If it doesn't, run the hell away. The One Piece logo has to be on it. If it's not, it's a bootleg. Okay, and you know, just bootlegs kind of stick out, especially on variable action heroes. Now be careful because some of them are better than others, but they generally have bad paint. You'll see blotchy shading, ugly colors, things like that. So get a good look at it. And just straight up ask your sellers, like, where did you get this? Is it authentic? A good seller will have no problems telling you. I've questioned people in the past. A good seller will just tell you flat out where they got it from. So in terms of an overall rating, aesthetics 5, articulation 4.5, accessories 4.5, overall value 4. That brings the overall rating to 4.58. So if you're into One Piece as much as I am, and if you like variable action heroes, definitely a solid figure to buy. 4.58 overall rating. I highly recommend him. Excellent articulation. He blows a lot of figures out of the water even today in terms of how well he's articulated. Easy, solid recommendation. So definitely a good figure to kind of own if you like One Piece. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. These figures are great. They're so much better than figure arts in my opinion, and I'd recommend you get them if you really like One Piece. Yeah, so if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask, leave a comment, and feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care.